Hello, everyone, and welcome to KAMDI Conversations. And I, of course, am your host, Tanya Hawley, and I am so grateful to be with you once again. And once again, I'm really excited because I've been wanting to talk to my guest I have today for quite some time. So I'm so excited that she was able to join me today. You know who she is, and she has that sultry, sweet sounding voice that has not changed over time and still sounds spectacular. So please join me in welcoming the one, the only, the Stellar and Dove Award winner, Miss Shirley Murdock.
Hi, Tanya. How are you doing, honey?
I'm doing great. Welcome, welcome, welcome to KAMDI Conversations.
Thank you for having me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, truly. I was telling you, I saw you in concert. Now, it's about time. Well, I have seen you since then, but the first time I saw you in concert with Zap was, I don't know what year it was, just to say it was a long time ago, but in my hometown of Youngstown, Ohio, which I've been gone for a while, at a place called Stambaugh Auditorium.
Wow.
And I am, I was so excited. And I still remember that show, parts of it. I remember seeing you afterwards, and I would think I was starstruck because you all were kind of walking out, and I was just looking. But I remember carrying Roger. They were carrying Roger on
On
their
the
shoulders.
shoulder. Right.
Excuse me.
No
So
worries.
I still have a thought of that. I'll never forget that. It was a great show,
Wow.
and
I
you
think
looked the same.
was it like was it in the winter?
Yes,
I think I remember that. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was in the winter. I remember it was cold.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It was cold. Yeah, cold out there. And that's Billy Beck area. The
It
wonderful
really
Billy
is.
Beck.
Yes,
Yes,
and
yes.
he's still there.
Yes. I understand that he is. Yes.
Yes. Well, let's get started because
Okay.
I want everyone to learn all about you and also what you're doing now. But let us start just a few years ago when this all started for you.
A
So
few years ago.
just a few, just a few. So tell me how the love of music started. When did you realize I want to do this? How was it introduced to you?
Oh wow! At a very young age, there was always music in the house. My father liked jazz, and my mother liked artists like Brooke Benton. And but my brothers and sisters, they were we were six kids in the house, three girls and three boys. So we were like the Black Brady Bunch, and I was a baby girl. And so my middle sister Ann was the one that was always bringing in music and bringing in the latest dances and things like that. So growing up in Toledo, we were like just down the road from Detroit, Motown. So we had all those
Yes.
Motown influences, both R&B and gospel. I remember being a little girl growing up in Toledo watching those black and white Shirley Temple movies. Her name was
Oh my goodness.
Shirley. My
Yes.
name was Shirley. She could sing, she could dance. I could sing, I could dance. My name was Shirley. And so that was really like the beginning of saying, wow, one day I feel like I can really do this one day. But I think I came out of the womb singing, Tanya, because there was never a time that I could remember not being able to sing. I was singing like a grown woman even as a little girl. And I remember one
I
time,
love it.
I grew up listening to Aretha Franklin and Gladys Knight and Stevie Wonder, all those singers. And one time I was singing Dr. Feelgood, girl with so much fire. I was about 9 years old, right? And I was singing it with so much fire. Mama said, baby, I know you don't know what you're singing about, but you sound like you do. So why don't you just leave that alone till you get grown? So, I mean, I grew up listening to, those were my teachers. I never studied. This was absolutely a gift from God. Then I grew up
Mm.
singing in the church choir, was always good training, not only for you vocally, learning how to sing, learn harmony parts
Mhm.
and to project like early in the morning. But my teachers were the Gladys Knights
Mm.
and the Aretha Franklins and the Stevie Wonders, all of those wonderful, wonderful vocalists.
So, do you remember your first time singing in front of people and getting a response? Was it when you were
Yes. Yes.
were you a child?
Um, I used to try to follow my older sister and my brother, my older sisters, like the choir rehearsal. I always wanted to tag along because I was a baby girl. And so I remember going to choir rehearsal and, learning the songs as they were learning the songs. And my middle sister, Ann, God rest her soul, she just passed away last year. She had a solo. And then they said, can anybody else sing this song? They wanted to make it a duet. And then so my sister Ann said, she can. So I got up and I sang, and I was this little girl with this great big big voice. So from time to time, when they would go to other churches, they would say, is that little girl with the big voice gonna come?
I
So
love it.
my first solo in church was duet was with my sister Ann. It was a song called Never Knew Such Joy Before.
Oh, you want to
Mhm.
sing it for us? Do you
That was
remember
like,
it?
oh, but let's see. I never knew such joy before.
I love
I never knew such joy before.
it. Oh my goodness.
I never knew such joy before until he made me whole. That's about it.
I love it. I love it. I bet you sound exactly the same. I bet you sounded the same. You said you had a big voice back then. I
Big
bet.
voice, big voice.
I love it. And so the response from the church, I'm sure,
it
was
it was amazing. People, they would respond. Some people would cry, and even
Mhm.
as I grew up singing in church, the response, I could tell that people were being touched and moved
Right.
by what God was doing through me, and what I learned in my journey to really understand
Hmm.
what this was all about. I remember once I was singing. I used to sing in weddings, and I remember singing "Inseparable"
Oh,
at a wedding,
oh yes.
and they were responding like they did when I was singing gospel. And I'm like, wait, hold up. This is not gospel. Why are they responding like this? And but what I come to realize, Tanya, is that it's not what I sing, it's where I sing from. And
Mm.
so I know that God has touched my gift, and I
Mm.
give it back to Him. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a synergy that happens. I call it the triangular effect. It's like I give it to God and ask Him to bless it, and He touches it, and then it blesses the people, and then they
Yes.
like they send it back to me, back up to God, to the people, to me, to God, to the
Oh,
people, and that synergy is just so powerful. And God gets the glory. He absolutely gets all the glory.
oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for teasing us too with your voice a little bit. We appreciate that. I see Genesis. Hello, Genesis. How
Hi,
are you?
Genesis.
She said, "Oh my gosh, Shirley Murdock, yes!" And she's over here. Glad you could join us. There's other people watching. If you have any questions for Shirley, please post them, and I'll be happy to ask. And I'm
Yeah,
sure she'll be
please
happy
do.
to
I'll be
answer.
happy to answer. Yes, for sure.
All right, so let's keep going. That was great. I kind of knew you started in church, but I just wanted to hear the story. But you
Oh yeah.
and so did all your siblings sing too? You said you're the baby. You sang, and your
No,
sister
well,
sang.
my middle sister sang, and then I scooped up my baby brother when I moved to Dayton, and when I started branching out with my solo career, and I heard him singing when I went home to visit. I said, hmm. So I asked him to come out and sing backgrounds for me. He did for many years. My brother Bill Murrah.
Okay, wonderful. So let's travel on down the line. So I didn't know it was Toledo. So you're from Toledo.
From Toledo, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so when did you make this transition and why to Dayton, or how did this all come about with you starting to really sing? So take it you sung as growing up. I don't know, did you
Absolutely.
do
Yeah.
choirs in school and high school and all of that,
No,
all of the above?
believe it or not, no choirs in school. I went to an all-girl Catholic high school called St. Ursula,
Oh,
and but
okay.
I loved art, so I was taking art classes, and my art classes never, you know, never coincided or worked for me to be able to get in the chorus. But whenever the chorus would have like their spring concert, then the director of the choir would have me come and and sing a couple of songs. So I was still very a part of that. We also did a production of Godspell,
Oh,
like
okay.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes.
So our class, we did that, and I was a part of that. But I sang in the Calvary Youth and Young Adult Choir for many years, and man, it was just a wonderful experience. Gave my life to the Lord. I mean, really began to grow in my relationship with God when I was 15, to really understand what that relationship was all about.
Mhm.
And I even moved to Columbus, Ohio for a while and worked with a
Okay.
crusade team. And we traveled and did revivals all over the country. We would go to a city and
Mm.
stay for a week. And, in those days, we weren't staying in like five-star hotels. Sometimes we stayed at the pastor's house or one of the members'
Oh,
house,
yes.
and that was a wonderful experience too. But I got laid off from that, and then came back to Toledo and got my job. But in the interim, we did a crusade in Toledo, and it was entitled "Jesus is Love." So we adopted the Lionel Richie Commodore song
Hmm.
"Jesus is
Hmm.
Love"
Oh, yes.
as our theme song. So I have a cousin who lived in Dayton, who worked for Troutman Enterprises, and
Oh,
she came to visit, and my mom was telling her what I was doing and let her hear a tape of me singing Jesus is Love. She took it back to Dayton and let Roger Troutman and Larry Troutman hear it. And they were like, okay, who's this girl? Does she want to make records? So when I came back home, my family was all excited. I'm like, okay, first of all, who is Roger and what's his app?
That's
I mean,
funny.
I was really into gospel music. I mean, it's not
Yes.
like, I heard songs on the radio, but not enough to be able to identify the
Right.
group, with the songs. And so my oldest sister B and I drove down to Dayton, down to Dayton to meet Roger and Larry. And I told them I wanted to sing gospel, but they didn't have any connections in gospel. And I
Mm-hmm.
told them thank you, but no thank you. Many times I had opportunities to sing R&B, but I turned it down every time because I'm thinking I'm going to sing gospel.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to be on Twinkie Clark's first gospel solo album
Oh,
called
okay.
Power. And Dr. Maddie Moss Clark used to have Twinkie give me a call to come up to Detroit to sing for the midnight musicals, and they were absolutely midnight musicals. Okay, and
Oh,
you had
okay.
people like the Winans. They weren't even the Winans then; they were the Testimonials. And that song, "The
Love it.
Question Is," they sung that back then. We had
Mm.
Vanessa Armstrong back then, so a lot of these
Oh,
powerful
yeah.
gospel singers I knew way back in the day.
Right.
But those doors never opened for me. And I told Roger, thank you, but no thank you. And he just said, well, if you ever want to give this a try, we want to help you. So I left there, Tanya, thinking, God, how come this is the only door that's opening? So
Uh-huh.
I said, look, could this, because I, turning down mainstream opportunities time and time again, could this really be the door that you have for me? So my sister, I just walked by faith through the open door, and it's been a blessing. It's been a wonderful journey, and the rest is history.
So what made you change your mind?
Because I felt like I prayed about it, and I thought that maybe, God, this is the door that you're opening for me. And the
Okay.
conflict came because of singing gospel and what people would think about, you come from the church, now you're going to sing R&B.
Yes. Oh, yes.
They think you're going to go to hell in a handbasket. You're going to lose your relationship with God.
Yeah.
But I
Yep.
always promised God, God, I'm taking you with me,
Right.
just like I've always taken you with me to every place you've planted me, every job I've ever had, whether it was Toledo Hospital when I was in high school, whether it was Osterman Jewelers, whether
Mm-hmm.
whether it was J.C. Penney's, wherever it was.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a born again Christian, you just wherever you are, you just be who you are. So
Right.
I was not leaving the church or the principles of godliness to go into mainstream. I was taking it with me, like
Mm-hmm.
I took it everywhere. I'm so blessed and fortunate because I came into a family group. Roger Troutman and his brothers
Right.
are a family unit, and they're very self-contained, and it was a drug-free organization. And so they embraced me like their little sister. And I was never compromised. I was never disrespected.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And when Roger asked me, he said, well, listen, if we're going to make this record, I need you to move to Dayton. So that's what moved me. I was
Okay.
commuting for a while making the record. And
Okay.
so, and like I said before, I prayed about it, talked to my family about it, talked to my pastor about it, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt peace in going forth
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't leaving, I was moving forward. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
That's the
so,
difference. Yes.
I took Jesus with me. Take the Lord on whichever
Love
you go.
it.
You're gonna need him. You're gonna need him everywhere you go. Baby, I don't go
Oh.
nowhere without Jesus. Okay. So
Oh,
me
we
and
have a church,
Jesus,
y'all.
moved to
Move
Dayton.
to Dayton.
And we started working on the record, and so it was really a blessing. And Roger asked me to come out and sing background for him while we were making the record. So that's how I got in Zap. So
Yes.
it was a good experience because it was a being able to watch an artist. I learned from Roger about interviews and radio stations and things like that. So I was kind of like while I was making my record, I was in training. So it
Yes.
was, and
That's
it
awesome.
gave me an opportunity to get my feet wet as far as being on stage and all of that. So it really worked out. And kudos to Janetta Boyce
Yes.
Warren,
Janetta Warren.
because
Yes.
yes, that's my girl. She's Lady Zap.
Oh,
And
yes.
so she taught me a lot. Honey, she taught me how to enter a stage, how to exit a stage. And
I love it.
she and a lot of the members of Zap, like Bobby Glover and Greg Jackson and all of those wonderful people, besides Roger and Terry and Lester and all of
Mhm.
those wonderful people really helped mold me, and they poured into me, and they're very much a part of who I am and what I do today.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, and I want to give a shout out to Jeanette as well because she's the one that actually got me in touch with you. So I definitely want to thank her. She's been my guest as well. Love her to pieces. So
Netta.
yes, thank you. Shout out to her. And that's
Yes.
a great story. So now we know how you got from from Toledo to
To
Dayton.
Dayton, yes.
And how did you like Dayton? Because I used to be there for quite a few years, and I remember Troutman Enterprises right there on Salem Avenue.
Right, right. Well,
Yes.
it was well, my mother's sister was here, so I had a cousin, so I did have relatives here,
Oh, that's good.
and it was. I don't think it was that it was pretty much like Toledo, a little
Yeah,
bigger,
yeah, yeah.
but
Not a huge difference.
it was still homey, still not wild. If you want to go to a bigger city, like we could always go to Detroit from Toledo, or if you want to go to a bigger city, you could always go to Cincinnati from Dayton, or
Yeah.
go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
But I'm a Buckeye. I'm a Buckeye for life. I've been here all my life, and I've never really wanted to live anywhere else. Many people think I've been to Atlanta so much. People think I live in Atlanta, or maybe they think I live in New York or LA, but I never left Dayton. Dayton is where my family is where my church is where
Oh,
it's where stability is. You can always take an airplane ride and go any other place, but it was just, I think it kind of helped me stay grounded, just being right here in Dayton where my family is.
yes. Good for you. That's wonderful. My family's, a lot of them are still in Ohio as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here, but
I love Atlanta. I do love Atlanta, but had too much traffic. Lord Jesus.
but yeah, compared to Dayton, that is very true.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, do you have a favorite song by Zap out of curiosity?
Um, well, there's a song that Roger it's on the Roger record. It's called "Only Have Eyes for You,"
Oh,
and it's a remake, and I loved it so much. I asked him to make a song for me from that particular record, and he did. It's a song called "Oh What a Feeling." But I do love "Computer Love" so much. That's one of my favorite. But listen, I love all the Zap songs. Okay, when I have an opportunity, like when if my schedule permits me to go out, because my husband is still the music director and the keyboard player for Zap.
okay.
Whenever my schedule permits, I might go out and hang out with my husband, and hang out with the boys. That's still my boys, and so
Okay.
I'll come out and do Computer Love with them. And
Oh yes, I've seen you
yeah,
actually do that, make a special guest appearance or whatever. It's like,
yeah,
oh, Shirley's here.
yes, it's kind of surprising people.
Yes, it's a very
And so,
pleasant surprise.
but I like Heartbreaker more. But I'm a Zap fan. I'm a Zapper for life. Okay,
I love it. Me too. I'm mad at you for that, Shirley, but you're part of them, so you know.
the family. That's right. It's
That's
fam.
right. So, Shirley, what was it like exactly? I know you kind of touched on it already, but working with Roger Troutman, what was it like?
It was great. It was wonderful. I learned so much. He was absolutely a genius.
Yes,
He
yeah.
could play practically every instruments that people probably didn't know he could play. I remember once he and I went to Soul Train with Donnie Simpson,
Mm.
and he broke out with a banjo and played the theme from the Beverly Hillbillies. he
Oh my
was he
goodness.
was funny. He was very, very giving. He had a great big heart. He wasn't selfish when it came to the stage. He would give you an opportunity to go out front. He only had one request, and that request is, do not bore my
I
fans.
remember
Do
that.
not bore my fans. And but another great thing about working with Roger is when he asked me to move to Dayton, he said, you're used to singing in church, but I need to teach you how to sing on records, to sing in the studio. I have to teach you how to sing in the pocket. Baby, I became the pocket queen fooling around with Roger. I can lock that pocket between the foot and the snare now. And so I would go and just hang out in the studio with him, whether I had a session or not. I'd watch him, cut the talk box, cut lead guitar, bass guitar, moog bass, and just hang out and just learn from him. And I think the greatest thing about Roger, the producer, was that not only was he a producer, but he was also an artist. So
Yeah.
that made him artist sensitive. And so he was very encouraging, always encouraging me to do what I feel. I had so much freedom when it came to my records,
Mm.
vocally. He trusted me vocally. We had respect for each other's gift. And he, I mean, the only problem Roger had when I would do those background packages is not having enough tracks. So he would go, wait a minute, I need more tracks. And he just make more tracks. And sometimes one part might be on a maybe an empty space where the snare is or where the drums, but somebody got to come back and clean all that up. But he always
Oh,
wanted me to pour out every idea that I had. And so that was just really, really wonderful. I've never felt, you know, in a box. I always felt free. And as far as
nice.
writing, as far as he was just open to suggestions and things like that. So
Oh, that's wonderful.
he was
And that's
wonderful.
because I hear stories where they don't have that kind of relationship or understanding,
Oh,
and they
it
don't
was
have that freedom.
we had such a wonderful music marriage, and
It's
sometimes
wonderful.
I would cut a line and he'd come back and do it with talkbox, or I would sit right there with him and maybe do note for note for note, vocally, while for him to do the talkbox. So if I don't know if you noticed, the talkbox evolved. You could begin to understand what the talkbox was saying
Hmm.
as the years went on. That's
Yes.
because we put human voice with the talkbox, and in his own voice with the talkbox. And it was a wonderful music marriage, and he's so much a part of my career, and of who I am, and the wisdom and just the nuggets that he dropped on me, both he and Larry.
Hmm.
I'm still burping off of them. I'm still chewing on them, and
Oh,
it's been
wow.
such a blessing to my life. So I thank and praise God for them both. Absolutely.
So you mentioned something earlier I wanted to touch on. That transition from, and I remember the Unsung, when you were on Unsung and you were
Mm-hmm.
talking about that transition from gospel music to R&B, and how people, they talk and they guess always got
Yeah.
something to say.
But I understand it though. I really, it's being a church kid, coming from church, I
Hmm.
really understood it. And we have a lot of gospel artists, this for them, it's like, I've never sung anything but gospel. And
Right.
so it's sacred to them, and so the only thing they want is they don't want you playing with it. They don't want, like, if your
Right.
career goes on a skid, now you're gonna come do gospel, you're gonna be over here with us, right?
Hmm.
And you're not really serious, and then when you get an opportunity to go back, you're gonna go back. But for me, it wasn't like that. I was signed to Warner Brothers at the time. And I met Bishop T.D. Jakes, and had an opportunity. I was singing at my church choir in Monroe, Ohio, at Solid Rock Church. And my pastors, they were very supportive, and they covered me, even though I was a mainstream singer. I thank God that they saw whose I was. And and
Okay.
and and they trusted the Holy Spirit in me. And I
Okay.
remember Mama Darlene saying that the Lord spoke to her and said, "Stay with her. I'm doing something with her." So
Mm,
not only did I have pastors who could hear from God, but they had a heart to obey what God was saying. And
mm.
that was very, very important time, because I got healed from church hurt there. You know,
Okay.
and
Okay.
so,
That's
but at the same
awesome.
time, like I said, I know, I understand it. Because they just don't want anybody to come over here playing with it, because it means so much to them.
Mm,
But after I met
true.
Bishop T.D. Jakes, he offered me an opportunity to do gospel. He said, "You said you never had an opportunity to sing gospel, but I'm giving you this opportunity, but you can't do both." So I said, "Well, Lord, it's always been my heart's desire to sing gospel." I was signed to Warner Brothers, and I went to Roger. I said, "Raj," I said, "I finally have an opportunity to sing gospel, and I want to be released." And so he went and championed my release from Warner Brothers, and I was released on paper in December of '98, and Roger passed away in April of '99. And he was happy for me. He said, "Baby, I'm not surprised. That's what you were doing when I met you." And so
Mm.
he'd come to Solid Rock and hear me sing.
Oh, it's
And
wonderful.
um, so I stayed away from mainstream for like about 7 years, and then slowly God began to open that door again. But I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going on my own. I said, "Well, God, if this is you, I need to make sure that you're sending me back through mainstream." Because my prayer was always, "Show me how to use everything."
Mm,
Because
okay.
God wastes nothing. Okay, nothing in your life is wasted. Even say, even your trials, your tribulations, your ups and downs, everything, the word says, works together for the good,
Good. For
for
those
those who
who love
love
you.
God and are
Yes.
the called according to His
It's
purpose.
purpose.
So,
Yes.
so um, the door slowly began to open, and it's a longer story, but I'm going to cut it short. Those doors did begin to open for me to slowly start making my way back into mainstream. And so it's funny, because I got a email from a prophetic website, and the title of it was called the prophetic website was called the Elijah List. And the
I've heard of that
Yeah,
actually. Yes.
and the title of the email, girl's gonna blow your mind. Says God says permission granted.
Oh. Okay.
I said, I didn't got an email from heaven. No, but I really, but I mean, that for me, that spoke to my heart, that spoke
Confirmation.
to my
Yes.
spirit, and I said, okay, it's time. And so, but I always, even before I left mainstream, I was always doing included gospel. Like I said, I take Jesus with me everywhere I go.
Right. I know. I
So
remember you talking about
yeah,
that, and as we lay, and we didn't get to that yet, but you
yeah.
had that little line in there.
Oh
You had
yeah. But yeah, because I didn't want to just sing a celebratory song about infidelity. If I was
right,
going to sing this song, we had to make some sense out of that thing, you know, and
right.
understand that there's a price tag attached to everything that you do, every decision that you make, because people make permanent decisions based upon a temporary situation. It might feel good now, baby. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay up later. So
That's
when
right.
it's morning, when the sun comes, sunlight shine across your sleeping face, baby, that's when everything is exposed, and you're gonna have to deal with it. So I said, well, I'll sing the song if I can add these lyrics. And what I added was, we should have counted up the cost, but instead we got lost in the second, in the minute, in the hour. And you know why? Because before you late, we need to pray. Can the church say amen?
Yes.
So it was important, you know, for me to add that. Otherwise, it just would have been a cheating song, and I didn't want to sing a song like that.
Oh no,
So yeah.
you sang it. Of course. Thank you for that, by the way, Shirley. I
Mm-hmm.
love these nuggets you're giving us.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. I get to hear you sing in between. But yes, that was a special touch and a line that was needed. And since we went on into that, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in DJ 12 because it is time for the KAMDI mini mix. Hey, 12.
Hey.
Hi, good evening. How are you? Hi, everybody.
We are
Miss
great.
Murdock, a pleasure. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm always,
Amen. Got the wake up call this morning.
man, somebody somewhere did not. I did.
Come on now. Somebody woke up dead.
That's right. Oh, wow.
I love it. Well, for those of you that don't know, if you're watching us for the first time, joining us for the first time, DJ 12 is here to do our KAMDI mini mix, and he's going to mix it up. And if you know the names of the songs that DJ 12, of course, is all Shirley Murdock. If you know the names, go ahead and put them in the post, in the comment section, and we're going to see how many know these songs. But DJ 12, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, folks, let's go on a little musical journey with Miss Shirley Murdock.
Yay.
And since you brought it up, well, I might as well start it right with that.
Okay.
We slept the night away. Upon now we can't turn back the hands of time.
Yes, we're still in this moment.
We forgot to face one simple fact. We both belong to someone else. As we slept the night away.
Are they guessing?
Well, yeah, as we lay, we'll see if they get anything else.
Trying to find another lover for myself. I soon discovered that for me there will never be anyone but you. Oh no, baby. Ooh, mister, don't you know you're hurting me.
Did they guess it?
Nope, they're not guessing.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
Oh, you're the one I need.
Yes.
Janetta's here.
Hey, Janae,
Don't you know?
Woo.
you're the one, you're the one, you're the one, sweet baby.
You told me things, and I believe them all. At times, but that didn't matter at all. Those lonely nights, waiting for your call.
They got that one, Shirley. Husband.
I love me better than that. Yeah. I'm going to get my life back. As I look in the mirror, a broken woman I see, broken down by the streets of life's journey. That broken woman isn't me.
Did they get that one?
Not yet. Nobody posted on that one. Nope.
When you're down and out, and you need a friend.
Can I say what the other one was?
You need a friend.
Love me better than that.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody just put it. I think they're listening.
Someone in which you can depend. Hey, like a bridge over troubled waters. I'll be there for you. Oh, to trust him. Oh, to know him as my friend. Oh, to rest in him. Oh, to know him. Oh, to believe in him. Oh, to know love without him. Oh, to be loved by him. Let not the wise man glory in his wisdom.
That's Dale.
Oh, is that Dale?
Yes.
All right, Dale.
That's one of my gospel songs.
Yes.
But let him not glory about it.
Call me the one. They're naming different songs.
Say it again. Call me. Right. That's right.
And the one.
You're the one I see. It was Call Me. And
you know, whoa, yeah. You ask me how
I like this song.
I'm going through, and my rent is due, how I can still smile at you. You ask me how, when things go wrong, how I stay strong. What gives me strength to carry on? Time will tell. You will see. Love, labor,
I'm living in the airport. I'm so GLAD about it.
about the paper. Yeah.
I'm living in the airport, and I'm so GLAD about it.
I like that, Shirley. I like that song.
You ask me when my trouble will end. I tell you, my friend, it ends before it ever begins. My life is the master's hand.
Miss Shirley, that's a bad song right there. That's a bad song.
That's Favor.
Favor of God.
The FOG.
FOG, yes. Oh,
You went way back.
That's what I do.
all
You know
right.
too much.
Tanya tell you that.
Oh, yes.
Sneak one in on somebody.
Yes, he's good for that. Oh, 12. That's awesome.
And I will end it with something very special.
What's he going to come up with?
Oh, wow.
I shall not forget what you've done for me. I shall not forget how you set me free. Everywhere I go, everyone will know Jesus lives within my soul. Even when I fall, Lord, you pick me up. Your gentle words of love light up my way. Forgiving the times when I fall from life. I am yours and you are mine. You've been a friend.
Thank you, 12. That I mean, I could just listen all night. I really could, but I do want to talk to you some more, Shirley. So we're gonna have to.
All right. Thank you, 12.
Great job.
Well,
And they definitely were over here guessing too. 12. That was awesome. Thank you for that medley. It brought back memories. A lot of those songs for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I left out some of the fast ones. I don't think Shirley gets enough credit for a lot of those really head nodding bangers that she had out there.
Thank you.
Like Be Free.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Tonight.
Oh, I have it. I have it.
Oh, man.
Yes, definitely.
All right. With 12, we thank you for the KAMDI mini mix. You did a great job as usual.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you were awesome. I kind of want you to keep going, but we're gonna stop. So anyway,
thank you, 12.
I'll sneak one in.
Oh, of course. I was surprised you didn't play that actually. Hey.
Well, she said it was her favorite, so
yes.
Hey,
and get a chance to sing with Charlie Wilson too.
Oh, you keep teasing us. Okay. 12, tell everybody where they can find you and listen to you.
You can catch me every Saturday on WRTWDB Raw Truth Radio on my show, The Time Machine, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. But you know the deal. I got places to go and people to see. So I'm out of here.
Okay.
God bless. 12. Take care.
God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Tune in to 12. He jams on Saturday morning. Thanks, 12. All right, Shirley. That was awesome.
That was fun.
Read a few comments. Of course, they were guessing the songs over here.
Okay. All right.
Genesis said, I guess I love all of them. Okay. Computer Love is one of my favorites. That was, I believe, Kathleen Nixon. Hey, Kathy. Annie Hatchett was in here guessing and naming, and Real Life with Al and Shell. Hey, guys, my buddies. They were naming songs. I'm not going to name them all. Let me go. Janetta's in here. Of course, she knew.
Oh, she knew all of them.
Yeah. We shouldn't let her play. No.
Yeah.
Dory Farish, thanks for joining us. You had a question in here. I was trying to get, there's so many songs. I got to get back. Hey, Kathy Richardson. So Annie was asking, hi, Shirley, love your voice. Are you just singing gospel now?
I'm singing everything. God has opened that door for me to do everything. So He answered my prayer, showing me how to use everything. So I'm an evangelist. I preach. I am a co-pastor of a wonderful ministry, an online ministry called Praying for You. And my husband has just been named the new pastor of Second Baptist Church. Our pastor, Pastor Carl Hutchins, is retiring in October, at the end of October, and my husband will become the pastor, and I'll be the first lady. So every door God opens, on walking through, and just to have the opportunity to share love and to just to just let light and love shine. That's what I do. So I love it. Like, I have a gig coming up this weekend in Beverly Hills. With Sherelle and with Angela Winbush and
the ladies.
Evelyn Champagne King. Yes, it's called the Queens of R&B.
Yes.
And so I get a chance to sing all those favorite songs, those hits that people love. But I love to entertain. But what I really love to do most of all is inspire. So I always leave something for people, for their spirit, something that's going to help them, get through the week, get through the hard times, get through whatever they're going through.
And you do inspire. Just our conversation is inspiring. So yes, your light shines very brightly, Shirley. It truly does. So
to God be the glory.
I wish that show would come here.
That would be awesome.
I'm surprised I haven't heard of that one coming here, but I'm hoping it'll make its way here.
That'd be great. Yeah. Yes. I was in Miami with Sherelle and
I saw that flyer.
Yeah. Sherelle and Michelle and
yes,
some other ladies. So I think they're trying to hook that up. So that would be nice to have the ladies, because they do it with the guys.
All
the sisters could come together. We really love it. We're fans of one another as well. And also, my girl Regina Bell, I was able to do a show with her recently as well.
And I had one of your friends here last week, Miss Ann Nesby.
Oh, Ann, I love Ann.
That's what she said about you too.
Her husband Tim are wonderful. Yes.
They are.
They're right there in Atlanta with you. Am I right?
They are. Yes, they are. Ernesto, hello, welcome. He says, good evening, ladies. Thanks as always for the great Shirley Murdock. Nice interview as always. I go way back with Zap. Love the Gemini Man, New York City.
Come on now. Amen.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So if you all have any more questions. Oh, another comment. I missed this one. Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Sharon is joining us. Thank you for taking me down memory lane. The Troutmans and Salem Avenue. Dayton will always be special to me. Met my girl Tanya there. That's me. Love your music. Come for an interview and got church too.
Oh, come on now. So what's in you comes out you.
That's right. You can't help it. But yes, I used to Sharon and I both were in Dayton together. So that's wonderful. Okay, got all those. Big fan. Genesis says she's a big fan, all in capital letters.
Oh, thank you, Genesis. Thank you, baby.
Yes. So Shirley, what is do you have a most memorable performance or just memory period? But I'm mainly talking about performances. Is there or a funny moment in either one?
I think one of my most memorable times was being on tour with Luther Vandross.
Ooh, yes, I'm sure.
Baby, every night. I mean, you just be able to hear those songs every night and stand on the side and just watch the master at work.
My favorite.
And he was just really wonderful to me. It was really instrumental, I think, in helping my career. We were sold out for like 4 nights in Madison Square Gardens. And so one of a memorable evening was receiving my gold album right there in Madison Square Gardens. My mother, God rest her soul, was there. Roger and Larry was there. My label mate, Anita Baker, came through. She was there. So just a lot of people were there, and it was just, that was for an artist, the first time getting that gold record was very, very special and very memorable. So I'll never forget Madison Square Gardens on the Luther tour.
What song was that?
It was the whole my debut album. Yes,
your whole album.
It went gold.
Yes, I knew it did, but I didn't know which one. So it was the first one. Oh, yes. That's wonderful. What a wonderful memory. Yeah, I guess that would be memorable.
Especially with my mom being there. She's in heaven now, but just for my mom to be there, be a part of that was wonderful. Yes.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I truly Appreciate that. So if you could do a duet with anyone, what's your wish list? Who would it be?
It's always been Stevie Wonder.
Mm.
So I would say Stevie Wonder. I would love to for like I remember I think it was called Sisters in the Name of Love when Gladys Knight got
Patti
together with
LaBelle,
yes,
Dionne
yes,
Warwick.
yes,
Yes, I
yes.
remember it.
So I would love for some of us to get together, like myself, Regina, and some of our other young ladies that are in our era. We could get together and do something like that. Now, I did have the privilege on my last gospel album. It was a live recording,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to call up some of my good girlfriends. I had Kelly Price, Regina Bell, and Beverly Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
And on the very last song is a song called Someday. So I did a song with each of them on the record, but then we all came together on the very last song on a song called Someday, and that was very, very special to be able to sing with all of them. That was nice.
Oh, now I have not heard that song, so now I've got to go listen to it.
That's on the Journey, the Journey album. It's live on Ty Scott Records. Yes, it's called Someday.
I'm writing it down. You got that, everybody? I'm gonna go find it because I have not heard that one. So actually, I was going to ask you about that CD because I know it featured those three. And so those three you've done it with, and Stevie Wonder. Are there any other females specifically?
Let's see. I would love to do something again with Twinkie Clark.
Oh,
that's my girl. I remember Neo and I had talked a couple of years ago about maybe doing something together, but what was really nice about that, because he recently sampled Computer Love on one of his songs, and he has his new song that's coming out now. It's called The After Party, and it has Slow and Easy, which is a song that I wrote with Roger. That's on the Zap album. That's on there too. So he seems to really like our music.
I was just saying, he's a Zap fan,
and we love him loving our music. And I think he's a phenomenal singer and writer, and so it's just really been a blessing for a lot of the younger people to sample our music, because it gives our music an opportunity to live and and be introduced to another generation. So the music continues to live on. So I'm really thankful whenever those opportunities come. Even like my girl Kelly Price, who redid As We Lay, she did a phenomenal job on As We Lay, and she invited me to be a part of that video. So in the beginning, I don't know if you remember, but I play her mom. In the very beginning, I say to her, "Baby, I know you think you love that man, but God's not going to give you somebody else's husband." And then the video starts. And there's been times when Kelly has invited me. I think once she was at the Essence Festival, and she was in one of those what do you call it? Those other the smaller rooms, with the big, and so she invited me to come, and I sang came out on As We Lay, surprise the audience. So we've done things together like that, and
I can see you two complimenting each other.
Yeah, man. So we're especially when you're fans of each other,
Yes.
And so it's really, and she's a phenomenal songwriter. Girl's a beast when it comes to writing, and her vocal ability is just sweet. And so yeah.
Wonderful. So Shirley, tell us about your ministry. So I know you touched on it a little bit, but just in case anybody wants to, I'll let you tell what you do. I was going to say call in, but I'll let you tell them, and then they'll understand what I'm talking about. So just, and how did it get started for you? Why don't we say that?
Actually, it got started with a friend of ours who grew up with my husband, Chucky Daniel. He has a online presence called the Life Train, so you might want to check that out. But he was talking to Dale, my husband, and another friend of his, Holly Montgomery, who he worked with, and just wanted to have a place for people to come and to if people need prayer, just to pray for people. So it really started off just on a Wednesday from noon to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Just on it's you call in. It's the teleconference line. This was before COVID, so we were doing this before COVID. Just people calling in on the teleconference line. Just we would post, time if you need prayer, call this number. Here's the PIN code, and we never tape the prayer line because we want people to know this is a safe place. But a lot of our other services are taped. And so it grew out of that into our Sunday worship service every 3:30 every Sunday on my husband's Facebook page. He's the senior pastor, Dale Anthony DeGroat, and I'm the co-pastor. So it started off just with the prayer line, and it went from the prayer wall went from Wednesdays to Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to noon. And we have what we call the overflow. So we'll stay on after 1 o'clock just to make sure that every prayer request, has been honored. And then that opened it up to Christian education. It books we call Bob books of the Bible. It opened up to the Bible Expedition, which is our Bible study, which is happening right now on Facebook. No, it's okay because he's holding it down.
I'm sure.
So Brother Charles Sneed does the Old Testament, and my husband does the New Testament, and he does it on his Facebook Live. He's traveling, so he's just doing it in the airport right now.
I love it.
But I mean, it's really grown. It's called prayingforyou.org. PRAYING, the number 4 .org. That's our Facebook page, and that's our website. So if you go to the Facebook page, we love if you like it. But our website, it'll have the rundown of all of our offerings, everything that we do. So we even have like prayer every Friday night at midnight, in the midnight hour. Because people may be depressed, they just may be in need, but there's a place that you can go if you need prayer. And so our dear brother Stevie Oliver runs that midnight prayer. So so something's going on all week long. So yeah, we're a church without walls.
Oh, I love it. Now, Shirley, I wanted to back up a minute. You said what? B-O-B, Books of the Bible. What is that?
B-O-B, Bob stands for Books of the Bible. So what our wonderful Natasha Mitchell, she will read a book, just go through one book of the Bible and just stay right there with one book every week. She does that. So she might be like in Ephesians, just might be Ephesians chapter 4, and she'll read that and explain it and just really kind of give you more insight so it's really interesting. It's really nice.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Somebody may need that. So at the end we'll make sure we repeat it all.
And I also posted on my social media too.
Okay.
When the because I usually man the prayer wall every Wednesday from noon to 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they're asking, we will share all the social media handles. So we'll
for sure.
Get a couple more minutes left, but before we leave, we'll make sure everybody knows where to find you.
Okay.
So I ask this question sometimes. Just I'm curious as to what is and who is on your playlist, Shirley. If you were to tell us your playlist right now, who are you listening to?
Well, right now, I on my gospel playlist, I love worship songs. I love worship. So I love songs like you are here, moving in this place. We worship you. We worship you. You are a way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Yeah. So I love worship songs, and like I'm getting into Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh,
and there's a young lady out right now. She has a song that I saw her on the BET Awards, and it's like I can do this for hours and hours and hours.
I didn't see the video this year, so I
think her name is Mui Long. I think that's her name.
Okay.
But I love just what a lot of the young people are doing. They're singing their faces off. I like her.
I love her. Yes.
Oh yeah, and there's just so many wonderful singers. I gravitate to the singers, and I'm old school. I still love my Mariah Carey. I still love my Beyonce.
Okay.
So, but
I love it.
But these young people, they're doing their thing,
They are. So Shirley, I play this little game at the end since we're almost out of time, believe it or not. And I'm going to name an artist, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes in mind, the first word or thing that comes to mind when I name this artist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I made the list before we had the interview. So, but it's interesting because some of the people you may have mentioned. So that's why it's funny to me. So, okay. So the first one is Aretha Franklin. First thing.
Queen.
Okay.
Queen
I
of
was going to
Soul.
say
Queen of Soul.
speechless. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a funny story too. I'll do it on the next interview.
Oh, now you're teasing us, Shirley.
Okay,
You want to
real
tell us?
quick. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm a big Aretha. I was a big Aretha Franklin fan, right? And
Mhm.
and my dear friend who's gone to be with the Lord too. He, uh, uh, he was a good friend of hers, and
Okay.
so he called her on the phone and got her on the phone with and speaking of speechless, I was fangirl. I couldn't hardly talk. I couldn't hardly talk. And then I remember that I was doing a play in Detroit, and she was staying at the same hotel. I invited her to come to the play, but she had just gotten in and she was tired, but she sent me flowers. So I got
Oh,
flowers from the Queen of Soul. Yes,
how
yes,
sweet.
yes,
Very thoughtful.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Very thoughtful. She wasn't able to make it, sent those. So, did you keep one of those flowers forever and ever? Amen.
No, I didn't, but the memory is in my heart forever.
That's a
Yes.
great memory, a great story too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, because I always say this is where the stars tell the story. So we love to hear the stories.
Mm-hmm.
Love it, love it. Okay, next name I have Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Uh, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Um, I think, I think, what I'm thinking, we did a show in Aruba.
Oh,
It was Sinbad,
yes, he
and
was. He used to have those things over there.
Earth,
Yeah.
Wind, and Fire. They performed there. So when I think Earth, Wind, and Fire, I think Aruba, and I think about the Sinbad show and how they were there.
Oh, wow, that was some show, I'm sure. In
Mm-hmm.
Aruba too. That sounds like a
Yes.
great memory.
Mm-hmm.
Mahalia Jackson.
I think of the movie where she's saying
Uh,
uh
I know what you're talking
uh
about. And it's
where
one of my. Oh,
the
help us out, everybody. I know what the movie is.
it's
I
on
can
the tip of my
see.
tongue. It was a young girl. She was
Yeah,
black, but
I know
she was
exactly.
okay.
She was
This is terrible.
perpetrating
Yeah.
because I keep want to say miracle, but it's not that.
No, it's
It's
not that.
imitation of life.
Imitation of Life, right?
Yes.
And I think about her singing. Uh, she said, "Sooner will be done."
Ooh, you sound just like her.
Trouble of the world, trouble of the world, yeah. She was just crying. Oh my gosh! So when I think of Mahalia Jackson, I think of that movie and I think of that song.
I'm not asking you nothing else after that. So it took us there. I was like, sure. That's a great way to end our interview because that was amazing. That imitation you just did of Mahalia.
Imitation of Life.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Shirley, thank you so very much for joining me today. It was such a pleasure. That was the quickest hour that went by.
Just talk. Me,
Yes.
talk.
It was wonderful. It was a pleasure.
You.
I
Thank you for having me.
appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing your
Thank
talent.
you, Netta.
Yes,
Thank you, Netta, for the hookup.
Yes,
Yes.
Janetta, thank you. I just appreciate you sharing your gift with us all these years. And it truly is a gift that has not lost anything over the years. You sound just as good as you did back then. I mean, you just demonstrated for us. So I can't wait to see you in concert again. It's been a minute. So
well, hopefully I'll do something. I was just in Atlanta. I stepped out when they have the Wind Down Wednesday on East. I was last week. Stephanie Mills and Stephanie Mills and my Gemini twin brother Donnell Jones. So I came to tell people about the play that I was in. So I was just there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I just missed you. Okay. So
next time I have to let you know when I'm coming. How about that?
Please do. Please
all
do.
Right.
Absolutely. Because you're my new girlfriend now, Shirley.
Oh, that's right. And we know Netta too.
That's right. Yes, we'll get her down here too.
That's right.
Shirley, thank you so much. I appreciate you, your time, your talent. God bless you and all that you continue to do.
Thank you.
Especially all that you continue to do for others, your ministry, your singing. You do so much. So we truly appreciate you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, please tell everybody where they can find you and follow you.
Yes, on social media, I have a Facebook page, Shirley Murdock. I'm on Instagram, Shirley Murdock, 4 real, REAL. And I'm also on Twitter at Shirley Murdock.
All right. You
And I
all
also
good?
have a YouTube page too. So I'd like you guys to follow me and follow me on that too.
Great. Thank you,
All right.
Shirley. Okay, everybody, you heard it. Please follow, support Shirley, download. Shirley, new projects. You want to tell them right quick? You told me something.
Yeah, I've got a song out with Cupid, new music out with Cupid. It's called 2 Steps on My Haters. And we're gonna be cutting the video this month. There's also a project that Elektra Records did. It's a three CD box project. It's called As We Lay, the Elektra recordings from 1995 to 1991. It's got all the songs from my debut album, all the songs from a Woman's Point of View album. That's got Husband on there, from the Let There Be Love, In Your Eyes, and there's like 10 bonus tracks, like extended mix, European mix, midnight mix, all kind of great stuff on there. So it's going to come out, I think, around the 19th of this month. So that's As We Lay. It's the Elektra recordings from 1995 to 1991. You might want to pick them up for Christmas.
So you said 1995 to
1995 to 1991, like all 3 records that I did with Elektra Records.
Okay.
They putting them all out on a box CD cassette.
Okay, wonderful. You all heard it. So now I think we got everything in. So everybody, please be sure, support Shirley, follow her, download her music, buy her music, go see her in concert, support her and everything. Call her prayer line. Hey, you've got a lot of options with Shirley.
And that number is 605-475-4000. pin code 101176. But if you go to the website or to the Facebook page, prayingforyou.org, all the information is right there for you.
Awesome. And you can always just watch this interview again too.
Yes.
Yes. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook at the KAMDI Group. We will see you next time. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Shirley.
My pleasure. Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Everybody.